So for the basics of Python, as I just mentioned, so like maybe 70% of you have already taken the courses from the FNG. So I just assume you already have some background. So for example, if you want to run a Python code without any IDEs, if you run a Python code without any IDEs, you can directly run this in the terminals. You can run code in the terminals. So for example, you can write Python files. So this page is not recommended, but I still lets you know you can run code through the terminators. So for example, you can run a Python file directory with Python dot, this is a Python file. You can get to the outputs, right? As I just mentioned, so if you successfully install a Python, you should able to check the versions. Okay, so for example, in the version of Python will change almost every month. So try to, in the future, maybe you are going to use multiple versions of the Pythons in the future, okay? So you may just search online to see how to manage how all those different kind of versions of the Pythons. So to check the versions by this command. So for example, how to understand this command is like Python / version, okay, to check the versions of your Python. And yeah, if you don't use the IDE, okay, you can still do the programming with the terminator, with the terminal. Okay, so this is with the run Python with the base code. So let's quickly go through those Python syntax. So do you think I need to, so for each of those components, those parts, for example, this is about some very simple syntax. Do you think I need to go those parts in detail, or is good to you already? Good to you already, right? So okay, just quickly go through. For example, print. This is comments, right? So print hello world. If true, print something. Okay. So some keywords like indentation matters, case sensitive. I mean, for example, if you define some variables for row case and uppercase, it's going to be for different variables. So some basic rules in terms of the definitions of the variables. So for example, first one is like string. Okay. The second one is integer. Okay, integer value is like 25. Okay. So for float values, it's like 1 point something. Okay, there's a point. Okay, 1 point something, 1.75. So float and boolean. Boolean is okay, only two different values, true or false. So invariant names includes like cannot start with a number. Okay. So for any of variables cannot start with number. So later on, if you like, okay, another thing I want to let you know is, so later on, if you find some, okay, so just now I asked a question. It's like, okay, generate Python code, right? So as long as you did not close this window, and if you want to adjust or debug the code, for example, if you find the code some of the function is not good enough, you want to plot the cosine function as well. Don't close this window and ask the question. Okay, it will consider the time correlations. Okay, time series information. It's crazy. So for example, you want to plot the additional function, it's like quadratic function. Okay, quadratic function. Just add, just discuss, just talk. Just like talking with me, okay? Talk to the DeepSeek, it will consider your previous request and then go ahead and to improve the code. Okay, just continuously ask questions to work on this. So for example, if the code generated by DeepSeek, there are some errors. Okay, just copy the errors to this window. It will help you to fix the bug, fix the errors. Okay, for example, if you find some errors from the invalid names in terms of definition of variables, okay, you can just go back to the DeepSeek or the ChatGPT. So cannot use reserved roles, for example, class. Okay, this is the reserved roles from the Python environments. So variables rules, no declaration needed. Dynamic typing. Typing means if you assign a given value to the variable, okay, the type of the variable is automatically assigned. Cannot use the Python reserved words. Okay, Python reserved words. So some common data types, okay, like integers, float point, strings, booleans, and Python basic operations. For example, like addition, like a number plus another number. This is addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and the division, modules, exponential. Okay, so very interesting. This is for exponential. Okay, this to calculate the modules. Okay, reminders. And so any questions for this page? So of course, after this course, you can go to YouTube to learn more about the basic operations. So the control structure. So if else. So for different rules, for different conditions, you can go to different function blocks. So for example, if this is a variable, this is a flow variable 3.5. For example, this is a GPS score. So this is a ranking process. So for example, I give a value of 3.7, 3.5. So of course, it will go to the second layer. So this should be B ranking B, okay? So first we go conditional statements for the first one is does not satisfy the first block. It will go to the second block, and then it will get rid of this function block. So the output should be 3.4. The output should be B. Okay, take a try. So the question is test try yourself. The question is write a Python program to determine the range of a number X using the following criteria. So for example, if the number is, please don't use DeepSeek at this moment, okay? Try yourself first, okay? So if X is greater than or equal to 100, okay, print large. So if the variable X, so this is a variable X, is greater than or equal to 50, but less than 100, print medium. So if X is greater than or equal to 20, but less than 50, print small. If smaller than 20, print teeny, okay? And set the variable to 75. Okay, try yourself. Okay, so this is the solution. So solution is like, okay, first you need to define your variables. So variable is 75. And okay, there are some comments. You can test the value, you can modify this number. So the first is, okay, let's say condition is x is larger than 100, go to print large. So if it's not the case, go to the second one, third one, last one, print tiny. So this is the code. Of course, later you can try the, so for example, if I copy this code to the, for example, I generate a new file. Okay, so this is so you see the small words. Use Control I to generate the code. So this is because I have already deployed the DeepSeek. Okay, I have already deployed DeepSeek in my VS Code. So later on you can take try. So the solution is like if you want to deploy the DeepSeek in the VS Code to help you to accelerate your programming, you can install these two boxes called continue. Okay, so you can, for example, I already deployed the DeepSeek through Olama, right? Through Olama in my laptop. But in this VS Code, if I wish to use the DeepSeek, okay, you need to use the continue. So all those VS Code continue is based on the Olama. Okay, based on Olama. So first you need to have a laptop and Olama. You can install a DeepSeek 7 billion, right? Okay, 3. And after you install the VS Code, and if you want to use the VS Code, use the DeepSeek in the VS Code, you need to install a toolbox is continue, okay? Continue, okay, in this case, the DeepSeek chatting box is available here. So for example, I can directly ask the questions. Oh, looking. Oh, it's a connection issue. So no worries. Later you can try to install a continue first. And later on, for example, those are the solution. This is the answers I received previously after I install a continue with DeepSeek in this VS Code. So if we copy the code from the slide, okay, and if you run code, okay, on the right side, okay, on the right top, there's a button. It's like a play button. Click this one. Okay, you're going to get the median. Okay, you get the results, right? So this is for the first question. Okay, first task. How to close this window? Okay, this is a reference answer. So the second one is for the loops. Okay, so for example, if you want to calculate the summations of a series of numbers, like from 1 to 10, so you can use this loop function. So the first one is the for loop. Okay, and second one is the while loops. So for example, like to calculate the largest number within a given series of numbers. So in here, there's a task for you. So try this one. Please use a for loop to calculate the sum. Okay, please don't use the DeepSeek at this moment, okay? Please use a for loop to calculate the sum of numbers from 1 to 100, okay, through the loop function. You can use the for or you can use the while, okay? So this is the solution. So in the solution, okay, we use the for loop to calculate the summations, right? So of course, if the variable is, saved in a list, in a vector, okay, you can use some existing function like the sum function to do the summation of all those values from 1 to 100, okay? So for example, to implement the call, you can just copy and paste and okay, so you can get result. It should be 5050, okay, 5050. Okay, so next one is the functions. So for example, if you want to copy some unit type, you can circle or the function. So for example, you can write a function to separate the function using library. And the input is the numbers and from 1 to 100 and 3 is 1. So the function Objective of this function is to capture information. So let's see the examples. Okay. So the definition of the function is a group of statements that exist within a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. So the same naming rules apply for both variables and functions. For example, you cannot start with numbers of the definition of the name. So for example, this name definition, well, you can follow the rules for the definition of the numbers. So for example, in this function, you can define the return variable. So for example, return variable can be up to the function, for example, return value. It's just more like the output of the function. So for example, this is the same. So for example, given a series of constraints, how to calculate the total. So you can assemble all those statements or all those codes to a given function. So as well as you can set up the input and outputs. So in the C double class, this is very important. The scope and the lifetime variables, but in Python, it's also very important. So we have the global variable and the local variables. This is because we have defined a function. So for example, the variables are defined. Within the function. So this is so-called the local variable. So the function variable is defined at the beginning. This is locally defined variable. Can be used normally. So this is global and local variable. So for example, let's take the local variable. This is local variable. This cannot be affected outside the variable. And you can try. For example, you can define some variables that is inside the functions, and you actually access the variable outside the function. So we have no error. Well, if you define a variable that is outside the function, this is global variable. Global variable. So tell us, okay? Have you used Python to program this Python function and giving a text values and up to the values of the fx. So okay, so this is a solution. So this is a solution. So first of all, we define a function. So the function defined is the calculate quadratic. So the input, the name of the function is calculate bar quadratic x. So x is in this is input variables. So in here we also write the comments. And the function is 3 multiply x square by time x plus 10. And this is this is to use this function based on different inputs. Okay, so this is the integer inputs. This is a float input. So we get the results, right? Get the results. So the next one is very important. So the list, this is data structures. So the list is a container that holds a number of other objects in a given order. So for example, from it's like array, okay, from 1 to 10. To create a list, you put a number expansions in a square brackets. So for example, create an empty list. Okay, create an empty list and create a list with 3 integers, create a list with 3 strings, and list do not have to be homogeneous, means list can include string, numbers. This is also okay, it's quite flexible. And also if you want to access, for example, one over, for example, like string, this is the size of the array is 3. If you want to have access any of the components, okay, just use the index numbers. For example, if you want to get the first 2 variables, okay, 2, okay, set up the start and end numbers, you get the results. For example, this is poly so this is poly. This is quite similar, so kind of similar. Tuples are the iteratable arrays of object or objects like list. So this is example. So for example, we define the 2 tuple variables. The first one is it includes the strings and the integer variables. So okay, it's slightly different. This is not square brackets, it's a brackets. So the brackets can remove if more than one items are contained. So the definition of those variables is quite casual compared with the C double plus. So C double plus is more strict in terms of the grammar. And let's try example, okay? So please try to use the list and use the tuple. Okay, use the both. So for example, use the list or use the tuple to save the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 numbers and try to find the minimum values. Okay, try to find the minimum values. So this is the solutions, okay? So given 10 numbers, and I use the for loop to to find the minimum values. And for each of the iterations in the for loop, I make a comparison between the current value and the smallest values, okay, with the smallest values. So, and finally, I'm going to find the smallest numbers, okay? So another, data type, okay, is the dictionary. So for example, okay, this is a scenario. I want to save the age of our students, okay? So for example, like Louis, okay, it's like Louis, this is a name, right? So, and also associated with the name, okay, we have a number, it's the integer values with the age. So the dictionary is a good option to save this kind of variables. So because first it have a key and also have values. So this is the key. For example, D is a variable defined as the dictionary data type. And this is the value associated with, okay, Chen. Okay, for example, this is the definition of the dictionary. So this is the key. So this is the values associated with the key. Okay, so this is very useful for the specific type of data. So for example, this is a Jeff is an example, okay? It's like dictionary, okay? Save three different pairs of data. So for example, Chen A, B, Wong C. So for example, like to save the results of the GPAs of our students. Okay, so this is a good data type for this kind of scenarios. So please, okay, take try. So give me a list of names. Give me a list of names. Determine the frequency of each name. Frequency means how many times this have exist for how many times, and which name appears the most frequently. For example, Alice, two times of Alice, right? Three times of Alice, two times of Bob, one times of David and Glenn. Okay, take try. So the result should be Alice three times. Okay. So for this one, it's like slightly more complicated. Okay, we try to extend this result from the solution. This is not the unique solution. Okay, this is the example. How much you can have fun. So this area, one lake, maybe the top of the whole lake. This is the and for each of the available input to application, actually common time. So for example, for one time, it's one time, so, okay, the individual program is not solution from that. Some people want to become magic, because different solutions, this is the modules and libraries if you finish your job efficiently. So for example, a module, definition module is a file containing Python code, which may include functions, classes, or variables. So this can help you accelerate your speed, efficiency of the programming. And so if you want to have a power supply, okay, just got that power supply. And this is examples to use the random. So random, for example, when generation to generate random numbers, so you can just import the random. So random is the random, for example, or you can take on random variables. So before, let's generate the random variables from 0 to 1. So for example, you can define a random thing, and generate the random variables and it will be integer from 0 to 10. Okay? So you generate the 8, and you just find it generate the 6 something. Okay? Also, you can copy the code to this code. So left side is, for example, if you want to have baseline equations, okay, you can refer to the map, which is the library. So the solution is the library is import map. Okay, you can look at what the function is that map from library. For example, calculate the absolute value. Calculate the value. You can use the value 3 times, okay? Calculate the value. So those are the map libraries. So for example, like for this one, we can copy the code. Okay, just want to code get some results. Okay, so this is not the complete code. Okay. So now this is the so this is the basic code to print the data type. For example, this is the int from this is the input value. This is integer value, integer variables. And for this one, this is arrays, right? So you can print the type of this. Okay, this is float values. Okay, this is float values, and which is array. And also for the functionalities, this is the functionalities we had just mentioned. For example, if you want to use the functionalities from the mathematics library, so you can. So first of all, you need to import the math libraries and this. Okay, so for context manager, so this is the utilization of the libraries. Okay, so non-type. So one is the type. So MATLAB is MATLAB. MATLAB. So non-type is numerical Python, something like that. Yes, something like that. So this is particularly designed for the calculation of the market and so normal question. So that so this is a linear function for so this one right on the market of this linear function. This is your 4x4 matrix. Okay, it will be a 4x4 matrix. When it's calculated inverse, calculated inverse of this 4x4 matrix. When you put on high, when you on high, okay, so for this case. So you can use the non-high, okay? NUMPY to calculate the inverse. So the inverse of this 4x4 matrix is also a 4x4 matrix. Okay, so this is the first we need to define doing and what this is for as well. We want to work through study the decision. So the template is so for example, we can do value to sound so from next week, I mean, we still have a little bit about the Python. So from next week, we have been talking about we provide the CSV file for CSV file. Right? So in the file, this is the content X, Y, Z. So this is the objective. X, Y, Z. This is the container. So this is I'm going to provide. So for orientation, it's going to be in the application. So I'm the logic of the robot. So the method in here to create the file and also plot the objective. We need to identify plot the method and plot the job. And also I need to, for example, okay, this is the final objective. And also I provide a different objective and the two objectives. I want to integrate an error. They based on two objectives. And here we provide the, okay, take the information. So before the lecture this week, okay, you can take a look on the data. The data set we provide out, okay? And also, we have a new repository, okay? Okay, you can make a start for this one. Okay, make start for this one. You can go to my GitHub account and on this project. So this is called Postland. So this is the root package. I write this root package. You can find all the history. Okay, you can look into all those history. You know, it should be from I write this code from January. During the Chinese New Year, so I write code from January. So we see all the histories. So for example, I also we add the UAS. So maybe later I can show you what is UAS position results. So all those will be introduced in the next week. So for example, those are the codes I prepare for this course. For example, is in here we provide the annual data simulation and the ranging data. So if you have this optimize the detail, how to get to the data. So for example, let me show you an example. Okay. So this is Postland. So if you look into README, okay, there are some introductions. So basically, this package is focused on the slang. So on the button, so if you look into the buttons, we provide additional functionality optional. So we provide the UAS like observation. So the package like the different field. So for example, we provide the example for the UAS. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is the terminators. So this week I'm letting them to talk about robot operation systems. So because you already have lecture slides on the level, we can install the 1P with the cabinet to put and see. So firstly, I will let you go through the procedures step by step next week. So I installed the ROS. So this is the okay. So this is the package. This is a package for Postman. Okay. So in the next week, I will let you know how to get familiar with the programming. So in here, okay. So before next week, you can Chrome, you can download the code from the Python I just mentioned to you. So okay, for example, this is the code, and you input the key, okay. Input the okay. Let me clear. Clear means clear everything. You can input the key. You can see the photo structures of this code. Okay, so if you look into this one, in the code, we provide the like a simplicity of LiDAR, with LiDAR, all everything. I really value it. I really do it. At the beginning, you don't have to let out. It's not with that everything. So for example, it needs to be okay. So so this is the code structure, the file. So okay, follow our file. And let me try an example. So in here, okay, let's try UWB ranging. Okay, let's try this one. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so this one, okay. This is a very good example set. You get fast, you get fast from so for example, like in the movie, so like for example, it's so the little actual money with the so the difference of the income is not like income was connection to actual. So there's a very light screen actually. Okay, so this is a difference. So that's on red, that's on roughly. So this is a commodity, ranging mechanism, and the thing is more into that. So that's a long. And then we add on top of that. So here we go. Okay. So let's see also find out let's learn the right up there. So let's see one example. So let's see yeah, you can download the code to see this yourself, okay? So this is for this example. So you see this UI is called AAE4011. So this is the on the loss. So what is that policy? Okay. I think okay, so another functionality, okay, let me show you one more time. So when we do research, we collect the data with raw platform. So for example, let me show you one of the raw stack files. We have lots of information inside. So it's a little bit slow, so let me close the pixel. So in here, okay, you have multiple, so can you see my screen? So in here, you have multiple data sets. So that's the we put the file format on the top. So we have one data set. This is open name. So this is how you open the data set. This is move on. So let me play this data set. Okay. Let me open it. So if you play the data set, it will like operation of topics. This data set includes the camera data, the LiDAR data, UAS data, IMU data, local data, including the data. Okay, so you can just anything. So I can open an iris. Okay, so this UI can help you to visualize all the data. For example, if you want to take a look on the on the controls. Okay, so see this is really controls included in this. See? Okay, let me. Okay, you see this is how the environment looks like. Everything is in this. So based on this data, okay, you can provide us that. Exactly the same as the real-time data. Because our content, our data, actually, so okay, this is the data. This is the most how we present the perspective of the material. This is LiDAR. And also, okay, there are some image. Okay, so actually for the privacy issue, we should block the people. So okay, we should. For example, this is a car based on camera, the visual camera. And based on those deadlines, okay, so you just have to get the user for the one. We detect the conflict in the front. You just here remember, and this is the objective to use the euro. Overall, speaking to the euro. Okay, this is what the CI region. Okay, then a lot of examples. You are trained for CPS, so, and also we have some other data. Other data, for example, like this data set is quite powerful. For example, we have two cameras. We have right cameras, left and right. Okay, slightly different. Okay, slightly very simple, but slightly different because they are based on different cameras between two cameras. And also we have the IMU data. So this is all the topics. It means all different data we have from this. So you see AAE2. Okay, so those are the camera data. And on the top, data points. This is something like that. And also we have annual data. So let's take a look on annual data. So those are the commands from the box. So we're going to see all the data. So those are the general data formats. Okay, so let's take a look on one blueprint. So pattern difference. That means the time seconds in order constant coordinate go back there, go back down. So orientation or by orientation is the velocity. We have to for example from data is like five something. So those are annual data. So let's make a summary for today. So this is the basic control of all the method. So after this all we may try the on-site model. So and also try to make clear software. Figure out what. And also we provide a basic for Python. And for just now, basic introduction slide. Okay, so this is going in the background. So text is on the board. It's a capital player. And text is the one. All of you are going to take this part, text is the and if you have any questions, you can use it on the GitHub and also on the Facebook page. And next week, we are going to teach you again. Basically today, we have the landing rate for the example in the table. So try to review the slide first. Okay? So overall for the question. Okay, see you next week.